work session discussion meeting minutes. Hearing none. No changes or questions about? Department head report? Any department head report? None? All right. Solicitor's report.
Need an executive session to discuss a litigation matter.
All right. Any questions or anything for the solicitor? Hearing none. Board of Commissioners.
I just have one thing. I had a great tour last week with Holly. I'm glad to see Holly here, with some folks from Fayette County. I got to tell you, I am so impressed with what those 4 folks are doing at the recycle center and the compost stuff. And I mean, over the last couple of years, they brought in over $2 million in grants. They've really done taking what was really nothing and turned it into what apparently is the envy of the 10-county Southwest region, at least if you listen to Holly's counterpart from Fayette County, who was with us. Just some terrific stuff. And the awards that they've won, the grants that they're bringing in, the 10-acre expansion, the compost stuff. One of the questions that we didn't get a chance to answer at the State of the County was what are we doing on sustainability? And I wish they had asked that question there. And I could have just had Holly stand up and people could appreciate all that we're doing in leading the region in our recycling efforts and some other things. And it's just scratching the surface of the potential I think we have there. So I don't know, Holly, if you want to say anything about that, the visit, and any feedback you've gotten from the folks at Fayette County. But I know I was thoroughly impressed spending the afternoon in the snow, walking around the compost field and stuff. So anything you have to add on that?
I appreciate the opportunity to have you meet with us for that tour. I will tell you, we did get an email back from the DEP, and they did say that Beaver County is the highlight in Pennsylvania, and they did pass that up the chain. So it makes me feel proud that we have so much going on in Beaver County that we can speak about, and there's a lot to be coming in the next couple of years too.
Yeah, I just think it's a well-kept secret. As somebody who had not been intimately involved, I've just been ecstatic at what I've seen, and hopefully we can set the tone for all the municipalities and folks in Beaver County to get behind some of those efforts. So thank you, Holly.
Anyone else is welcome if you ever want to tour or to see what it is that we're doing. I would welcome anyone.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, Holly's done a great job. I'm one of the commissioners that hired her so long ago. And we were in a tough situation when we hired her because our director was very ill, and he wanted to try to help her a little, but he couldn't. And everything that she knows and does, she learned on her own. She promised she would take the classes, get the certifications, and she did that. And so I'm pretty proud of her.
Yeah, partnering with the different companies, getting recycling into the schools. I mean, I could spend the whole hour talking about them all together. Everybody's happy to do that. So.
Yeah.
All right. The few things I have first is, as everyone has probably seen plastered all over the courthouse and social media, that the Penguin Foundation has identified Beaver County Brady's Run Ice Rink as one of the 3 finalists for renovate the rink.
This is for the county.
Go
I
on
have the
vote.
cards.
I don't have anything. Go out and vote. You can vote multiple times each day or every day.
Every day.
One time per day until March 9th. So.
Per email.
Or email?
Per each IP address, that's correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Stuff in the ballot boxes.
For a great cause.
For a good cause, that's right. So there's that. The other thing is Corey Troutman, I think, mentioned to the board about potentially getting some training for payroll through Tyler Technologies. He sent this over to me. I'm going to just provide it to the board so they could look at it. It's just a detailed of the training that Tyler would come in and train our payroll department on New World, the software that we use. It's roughly $4,200 for a couple, or for 24 hours of payroll training, so a couple days it looks like. And then the only other thing I had was the Treasurer Egley was here last week to discuss her, I guess, initiatives for 2020 with the Dropbox and also the different dog tags and dog license. And Jack, you could probably speak more of this because you sit on the board of the Humane Society, and Mike's usually here, but he's not here today. If the county were to grant the Humane Society full authority to give dog license, would they be able to handle that, taking that on? She said we did about 17,000 in 2019. The county received $1.50 from each license, of roughly $25,000.
Is it $1.50 or $1?
The $1.50. We keep $1.50.
$50, rest goes.
The rest goes to the state. If somebody gets a dog license from the Humane Society, they keep $1. They then provide us with 50
It must have
cents.
changed, because I was always under the impression it was $1.
Yeah, so we keep $1.50. The Humane Society doesn't get anything from ours. So my thought process was, if the Humane Society could potentially take that on, we could give them that, and that could be funds that they could use for things that they need, such as, you know, the monies that they can, you know, not pull our support, but it could be an additional to what we give them. I don't know if that's something they could take on.
They might be able to take on, and they might be able to
And it's
do
gonna have to have
online
a
as
conversation
well.
that we need to have with them, but I didn't know if that was something the board would be willing to have, of course, and Treasurer Egley too, but, you know, we're gonna, the request is $5,000, I think, to try an online program.
It's gonna be 3,000.
3,000,
3,000 a year.
3,000 a year. And it brings in roughly 25,000.
Yeah.
You know, would it be better served if the Humane Society can take that on? Would it be better served for them to bring extra revenue in and help their goal?
That's a possibility. I mean, some of the feedback I got was, why are we in the dog license business? to
Yeah,
begin
and
with,
that's
right?
kind of
So
like
is that
that's
a
kind of
core
the question
county
I wanted to
function?
ask.
And,
So I don't know if that's something we need to discuss with the Humane Society, obviously, and then obviously the
Sure.
treasurer as well. But would you guys be open
We
to
could set
having?
up a more information.
Yeah, would you be open?
yeah,
to
I absolutely do.
That's the only thing that I wanted to bring up. I was thinking, you know, we know this, you know, we know the outreach that we get every year when it comes to budget season, to
Yes.
give more funds, and we could double our, by giving them, and it can be done by volunteers. You know, I don't know their operations as well as something.
Well, they have two locations. They could be selling them geographically out of the thrift store in Beaver Falls and the shelter in Center Township, and they can do it that way. So, not till March 17th.
We'll have
But,
Tony reach out to them.
Yeah, we can get Susan Salyers in here and Mike Romine,
Yeah,
have a conversation about it.
that's all I have.
Yeah, I had to post that, but my issue with the 3,000 per year, is that gonna enhance any revenue?
Yeah.
Getting by going online, I think the easier we make it for people to remember to get the dog license and actually buy them,
Mhm.
the better off we are, and the better off the animals are, quite
Yeah.
frankly.
So, other than that, I don't have anything else. Any other business?
No, just one thing else with Sandy, with the Dropbox thing, and I don't know where we are on that, but my biggest concern
Yeah, we're-
was really security issues around that, and making sure that it's monitored, so if if we were to install it, somebody was to say, well, I put it in the Dropbox, I don't know
What's your proof?
that it's monitored somehow.
What's your proof that you put it in there?
Yeah, so.
When I pay my taxes, I want a stamped receipt right then and there.
Yeah, where it's at right now is that locations are being discussed with the sheriff as far as where we would be able to have video. If it were to be erected outside the courthouse, where would we be able to have video of it? And I don't know where those stand at right now, other than that discussion between the treasurer and the sheriff is ongoing.
Okay. And to make sure that people know that, I don't see how we do it without being on video, and people should know you're on video dropping this in, so that it would prevent the idea of vandalism or tampering or somebody trying to get away with saying I put my taxes in there, I don't know what happened to it, it's on you guys, kind of a thing. So, there's all those
And
things to sort
videos-
out before we go ahead.
Our videos are only good, what, 30 days?
Yeah, I think they do record over themselves, not exactly sure.
Yes.
Unless you would specifically pull it up.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Any other business? Hearing none. Audience participation, Mr. Woolley?
Yes, several things. Census, what's the schedule for that and where are they located?
Yeah, I believe last week they said they're starting in mid-March, I believe, is what the report was last week.
And they're gonna work out of an office?
Multiple
Where's the
locations,
county?
Joe West was in here, I mean, we talked about
Oh,
libraries,
okay.
different locations. So, March 12th it's gonna start.
March 12th through July 30th.
There's posters all over the place, they're starting to put up and get the word out on that. Yeah.
Reassessment. Where's the location where they're gonna set up? It was down here somewhere?
It's right across the street from the parking garage.
Okay, and
Head office.
what's the status, what's the schedule for that?
They're still scheduled to start getting into the field April 1st, I believe.
Yeah, they are currently looking to hire employees, doing some of the background work on it. And the intention is that they would start April.
They're doing the IT stuff now.
Yeah.
Right, the IT stuff, a lot of the background work.
Mhm.
As far as the field work, the plan that we heard was for them to start in April.
And that's still 1 year to completion, or will that be done?
The
this
field,
year
the
also?
field work itself, yeah, they're saying approximately 1 year.
Wow, and this budget that's been established, and how much are we paying for that? How many millions?
6.7.
6.7 million, 6.8 million.
And that's accommodated by our budget, or we have to have some?
We're reviewing different options of taking out new money, borrowing new money for it.
Good. Financial status, a report from our financial expert. When is he coming in to talk about 2019?
He was here last Wednesday.
I missed one day, and there's 3 things that take place. That's very good. I will miss some more meetings. Voting, has that loosened up at all? I know there was concern about being able to submit a ballot, not even going, right up to the last minute, you could vote by mail or.
It's what the law allows.
Yeah, the new law allows what they're calling in mail-in votes. We've been speaking with the Election Bureau on how they're gonna handle that as far as an individual who has requested one of these mail-in ballots. What will happen is that there'll be a note for each individual precinct as far as who has requested those ballots. So that way, if they do go to vote at the precinct, they would cast a provisional ballot, and then we would make a determination if in fact they did provide that mail-in ballot or not.
And that's what we've been doing, but we haven't been accepting those mail-in ballots the day of the.
Well, that hasn't been what we've been doing because the law just changed.
Right, and I know there was some pressure to try and.
Yeah, we reached
modify
out.
that, you did.
To our, to the legislators, and right now that there's nothing that was changed.
Well, but they acknowledge there could be some concerns.
I don't think
Those
so.
machines are
Yeah,
I don't think they have
I
done
don't think
that.
so either.
Quite frankly,
They acknowledge that we reached out to them. It's
I think they're just,
Well, if I can help, let me know.
we'll see how it goes, and we have confidence certainly in our Board of Elections Bureau here that they're gonna do a good job.
Oh, yeah, but
So,
it seems like extra effort that's piled on top of an already,
Yeah, that's right.
strict.
The only time before you're allowed to do a same-day ballot would be for mostly emergency medicals, which would have to be approved by the judge the day of. So you'd have to come down with a medical excuse for someone to take an absentee to that facility for the person to vote. But now the law's changed, so.
I wish you luck in changing some of it back.
Nikki, did you say Holly? Holly, you have something?
I forgot to
That's
mention,
okay.
during the last work session, you had said that there was, some representatives and senators that wanted us to do paper shred days.
Mhm.
We have 2 of those scheduled
Okay,
now.
good.
One is for June 13th for, Maxie's office, and then, August 1st for, Barbara Lotto's office.
Where is Cameron's office at, Barlow?
So,
I know it's in Hope, I
the
understand.
one on June 13th will be in Ambridge, and they're still trying to see if they can use the
The-
municipal building.
yeah, it's-
And then the one on August 1st is at Hopewell.
Oh, okay, thank you. I just didn't know where.
I'm not sure where she holds.
Yeah, she does satellite office one day a week at the Hopewell Municipal
So it's
Building.
right between
Yeah.
this-
Municipal building as
Yeah.
well, okay.
Any other audience participation? Ms. Mary?
Laura Lee Bernke, Beaver County Genealogy and History Center. 2 things. I'd like to add our thanks and praise to Holly and her department and her crew. They've been very helpful to us down at the History Center, and it's been a pleasure working with you. The other thing I wanted to mention is that Marcia Keeton from the Times did a wonderful article on our current featured exhibit, which is Daniel Agnew. So if anybody's interested in coming down, it'll be probably through April, sometime in April. And the article was in Monday's paper, so if anybody's interested in reading it, she did a great job.
Any other audience participation? Hearing none, will we need to reconvene from executive? We'll move into executive session, not reconvene. Thank you.